Hi everybody, welcome to, we should do bloopers before we do these things. Anyway, hi, my name is Carey and I am known as the Patient Stitcher here on YouTube and over on Instagram, and wanted to say hello, happy November. I meant to actually film this yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to do so. Just trying to keep up with my children and Halloween and trick-or-treating and the grandkids and all that good stuff. So, happy belated Halloween if that's what you celebrate, and if not, then that's okay too. But officially, it's actually kind of perfect that today is, because today is my birthday month. So, it is a big year for me. I'm super excited. I turned the big 50 this year, and I don't really feel any different. So, and people say that you can't tell that I'm turning 50 by the way I act. I don't know if I'm childish or not. I don't know yet. So, oh well. Anyway, if you're new to my channel, hopefully you stayed for a moment. I don't think this will be a very long one, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm never really sure how my videos go from the beginning to end half the time. And they never go as I have planned them to. So this is a channel primarily about cross-stitch. I'm going to talk about one book today. I have not finished any of my sewing because house hunting. I don't think I need to say much more than that. I do not have very much stitching, but I have some pretty big goals for November, and so we'll talk about my plans, we'll talk about what I've already worked on, and yeah, and if you're not new and you've been one of my long friends, thank you so much for coming back and sitting with me. I've just had a really great support system on here, and people who check in on me, and you know, I've never met anybody, but I seriously love it when you comment. I love it when you stop by, and any of my other Flosstubers know I try to do the same thing for them too. I get so wrapped up in their lives and want to know how their families are doing, how their kids are doing, how they're doing, and grandkids, mind you. There's a couple of my Flosstube friends that have grandkids, and I love hearing about them, and I love hearing what they're working on for them. So yeah, it's just fun. So I guess to no further ado, I really don't know if there's too much more. I will get to life updates towards the end, so if you don't want to hear any of that, that is fine. I understand. There are just so many Flosstubers and definitely not enough time. So, if you like what you see, stick around. I would look forward to if you leave a comment, if you like, subscribe. I appreciate all of that. So, so I guess I'm gonna work on whips. I have no haul because my last video that I posted was my haul from Fiberlicious, which was the haunted Halloween haul. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. It was so cool. Never done it before. It can be a little bit expensive, but I got like hand-dyed floss, hand-dyed cotton, or I should say hand-dyed silk, 2 hand-dyed silks, 3 Fiberlicious hand-dyed linens, which were beautiful. And actually, one of the projects that's coming up today, I would probably really like to put it on that. I don't know. I might even restart it. Who knows? Anyway. So let's go on to my whips. I don't even know where I put things. That's how bad it is right now. So everything's like right here next to me. Sorry. If I'm looking away and that bothers you, I'm really sorry. So if some of you don't know, I've been working on every single one of my whips in 2022. I think that I'm going to continue that in 2023. However, there could be so much happening in 2023 that I am not 100% sure I'll be able to stick with it like I have this year. I'm really impressed. It is November and I've only taken 1 month off and I've hit 500 on every single one of my whips. I've had so many finishes. I encourage you, if you have a lot of whips and you get discouraged by having so many, I wouldn't say discouraged, but if you really want to see them, I really, really, really hope that you can do this. I've written all my whips down. Actually, I've got a couple over here that I've missed, which you're going to see. I found them. I don't even know when I started them. I've checked my Instagram. I don't think I have a date of when I started them. So they never got included. So I take all those whips. I took all of them and spread them out over 12 months. November was supposed to be my free month where I could stitch on whatever I wanted, start whatever I wanted. However, I had a month where obviously bad things happen, and it was just a hot mess of myself. I think it was in June. I didn't stitch at all, and I barely stitched much of July. So I took July and took June and switched it out with November, and I just continued on. But I'll get with plans with that. So one of the things that I stitched on way back when was Bewitching by Stony Creek Collection. I really love this photo. I really like the picture of it. However, when I started stitching these colors, I was in love. Even my husband was like, "What's that one?" And he asks me all the time. He's so cool. And I said, "Oh, it's my Bewitching." And he was like, "Those colors are cool." So I'm going to show you where I was at before. And where we are at now. And I don't know what the fabric is on this, which is bad. Those oranges and purples together are so stunning. So I'm trying to like lift and not lifting in the right direction. I just love them. They actually flowed really well together. This blue is the outer part of her dress, which really goes well. So you can see where I was kind of at. So what I've noticed is I never fully kitted up some of these projects. And of course I was like, oh, I need this thread. Oh, I need this thread. That's never going to happen again. So that was Bewitched. This fabric I'm pretty sure came from a Fabric of the Month Club, probably from Fiberlicious, because I did do Fiberlicious for a year and a half, I think. I really loved all of them that came from there. I'm going to look in here and see if I probably put it in here. I may or may not have. Or, because I can't find what the piece that project bag I actually had this in. Speaking of that, not that I was just talking about it. I don't have, my project bags literally look like most of them are Ziploc bags. Here you go. I'm going to lean down here. Literally, we didn't see all that. I have more Ziploc bags. So my game plan before I start making them for anybody else is I'm going to start making project bags probably in 2023. If a project does not have a project bag, which means if it's empty, I get to put a new one in it. Which is probably bad on my part, but I'm going to make one because I just really like how they sit. I like how they go together, and each project needs its own bag in my thought process. And who doesn't need project bags, right? The next one I did was a Dimensions kit, which was the cute caroler stocking. By the way, the last one got 500 stitches. I think I was really embarrassed by that one. I don't think it had very many stitches, like 3 or 4. It was very embarrassing. It was a start though. And then this one, I can show you where I was at before. And in most of these, I've had to I've put floss in different areas. I think this one actually still has floss in some areas that are weird. Maybe not. And this is where we're at now. I actually feel really good about these progresses that we made. So some of this stuff right here, this was actually supposed to be like a like a half stitch and I mistakenly did it full, and I actually kind of like it. So I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to make it work that way all the way through. And this one also got 500 stitches, which was fantastic. I think it's amazing. And floss all over the place. So that might drive some of you crazy. I'm really sorry. I do like parking and I like doing 10 by 10s, and I like to park on those. It's been just working really well for me, especially for my dimensions. And this is a Dimensions Gold collection. Sweet Dream Stocking. It's so stinking cute. I did not realize how big this one was going to be. I think it's going to be a bit bigger than all the rest of them. And I can show you where I was at before. And we, believe it or not, got 500 stitches in this one too. And this is where we are now. I'm telling you, the stocking is much bigger. I think this is on 18 count. And it is much bigger than the other one. Come here. My floss is at least up and out of the way. So I finished this piece right here, came on over, did this, and then did these two. It's going to be so good when it gets done. And last but not least, so I have been trying to make my, I haven't had a lot of weekends to myself, but I've been trying to make my weekends my trick-or-treat Hade weekend. I didn't get as much done, but I will show you where I was at before. And here is where I am now. This has gotten, I do believe, a little under 3,000 stitches. I am at like 17% complete. Where I was at last, hold on, I gotta get it in here for you. So I came all the way down and got most of this done in here. Filled in all the blues all the way up through. You can see a couple of leaves that I put in right there. And then this has already been, this was typewritten in probably about, I don't know, a year or so ago, and then I let it go. But we are officially at the building. I am super stoked about this. So I stayed up here quite a ways. As you can tell, I didn't come back down like I've been doing. The reasons why is I really had to get in there and recount and see where all the things were. So we are at the edge of this building. I'm super, super stoked. So this weekend we have family visiting, so I cannot guarantee that it will come out this weekend, but I would like to do so. I'm going to finish these out right here, and then I am going to come back down and start working my way back down. What I've been doing with this project, if you just got here and didn't know, I've been doing these in 10 by 10 blocks, which has been really super helpful. I've been doing it on a diagonal, so I've been starting here doing 10 and then just perusing on my way up. I've also been using my floss, so if you see like little areas right here that have a big chunk of done, this is some big chunk of area done, part of the house is done, and that is because if I have stitches here or some of these like other stitches, they will come over here, and I do not care. I will. Do you want to see what the back of this looks like? I ain't ashamed. There's the back of my Hade, and it looks like it looks like a hot mess. And it is a hot mess, and it's okay. I'm not planning on showing my back. I'm going to smack myself in the head with my Q-snap. Because I have a cat who is obsessive. And when I mean obsessive, obsessive. I was literally stitching last week, and she saw a string and she started chewing it while I was stitching. She's obsessive. She's 15 years old, and she will hunt out my fabric, she will hunt out my cross stitch, and she will take her little claw and she will grab it. I have come to this project before. I'm working all these in eventually too. I'm just trying to keep them out of the way and that. But she will literally just take it and chew it right up until the little very edge where I've left it as a parked thread. And then I come back and I'm like, now I gotta bury it, take another thread and bury it, and then figure, yeah. She's done it to me so many times. So, again, this will be my goal for November, is to hopefully get 5,000 stitches on her. I will not guarantee that's going to happen because it really depends on my weekends, and it really depends on everything else, and house hunting has taken up a ton of time. So I really haven't had a lot. So, my favorite piece by far, and believe it or not, as many stitches as I put in this stupid thing, I still love it. You might hear my husband's garage door close. I still love this piece. This piece, I don't even know. It's going to take me until I'm 80 to do it, but we'll see. All right. So, I do not have any more whips that I worked on. So, I'm going to go over my plans for November. Be prepared. You are going to get over inundated with starts because I feel like it's my birthday month and I can do what I want. Right? That's what I say. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. We'll see how stressed out I get. But I would like to go over my whips that I am also planning. So in my whips, I like to at least get 500 stitches in them. Sometimes I hold on to them a little bit longer because I really am enjoying what I'm stitching on. So I think that that's really, really important also. Yeah, and these, because I'll tell you my life update, but I've also taken December and put it in November. So all of my whips will be totally completed by the end of November. And then I think I actually might do an overall, like, maybe I'll do a whip parade. I find it a little odd. Let me know. If you guys want me to do a whip parade, I'll do a whip parade because I have enough for us to sit here with some coffee, tea, any drink that you would like, and we can talk about my whips because I know I have enough of them. And probably some that I've started this year. My hair is doing all kinds of things. Just got off from work. So let's see. The whips that I have for November, December. And this is all of them that I've gotten, that I have had for the rest of them. So if you've been hanging out with me in 2022, you are now officially going to see every whip that I own, even though you probably can't remember what I did in January, and that's okay. So this is going to be a new start. This should have been a whip, and I don't even know if I actually took all the stuff out, did I? So I stitched this, started this. Oh, look at that, I did take it all out. Fantastic. I don't even know where it was at one point in time. Okay, so this is a blank slate. I started stitching my first chatelaine, and here, I'm going to grab my thing. So now I guess it's going to be an official restart because I messed it up and I didn't like how it was turning out, and I actually did something totally wrong. So I'm going to show you some of the fabrics. All of this is part of my chatelaine. So here, these are all my DMCs. Yes, I do not use Flosstube bags. I reuse all of my, I just reuse literally every single one of my bags. When a project's done, I just put it in a container and I fill it up with my next project, and that's how I do this. And all I did with them is I took my little paper puncher, D-ring, done. These things are amazing. I love using them. So this is called the Polar Bear Mandala. I have some dinky dyes to go with this. This is a beautiful piece. Oh my gosh, silks. Touching silks are just like, they're like butter. Oh, I love them. I just absolutely love them. So to get an idea of where this is going to be, and I might put this in a next year rotation because I seriously love this piece immensely. I don't know how next year is even going to work, but believe it or not, I've already been thinking about it. So here I am pulling them on the side. Look at this. So these are these amazing, gorgeous, beautiful colors from my dinky dye. And Check them out. They're just going to be stunning. They're going to be so beautiful. They're just, I don't even know. I can't. So I tore out what I did last year because I actually did the 1/1 pattern in, and I'm doing the silk lamb braids too. Petites. Doing those. I have tons of them. So those would be, and then I'm doing Karen Water Lilies in a Gloriana. There's a couple of different ones. I'm super excited. This is my first Chatelaine. I got in a Chatelaine group on Facebook. I've not posted anything in there yet. In fact, actually, there's a couple of people who are doing a Chatelaine stitch along. I think it was happening in October though. I might try to find it and try to maybe jump on board with it. I really want to work on it. In fact, I've been thinking about it for like the last couple of months, and I almost took it out in like August and was like, okay, I can work on this. But 1/1 stitching is unbelievably gorgeous, but it can be extremely time consuming. My Haid is 1/1. It is stitched with one thread. It is done with just 1/1, and I love stitching it like that. So when I noticed that I did the mistake, I realized how much how beautiful my Haid is, and I'm like, I need to go back and stitch this 1/1 and make it just as gorgeous. It's going to be so beautiful. So stay tuned. It's going to be a thing this month. It is going to happen this month. Another one that I started in November or December, I actually can't remember now, is the Crosswing collection. This thing is so beautiful. I love birds. If you don't already know, I love birds. This is stitched on Fiberlicious. It's a 28 count Jobelin, and it is called A Beautiful Day to Be Alive. What a great fabric to stitch these birds on. And this is where we're at. It's a beautiful piece of fabric. It really, honestly, I really probably shouldn't use such a big piece of fabric for something that's not going to be, because literally this is the bottom of it right here, and you're going to laugh at me. So here's the bottom, here's the birdhouse, and that's the top of the tree. All this fabric. But look at how pretty it is. I just had to do it on this. I mean, I probably could have cut it and used it. I don't know. I'll use it for something else. I have no idea. I'm just going to have some small, but I am a middle starter. Until just recently, probably the last year, I've really measured more and tried to make the most of my fabric. But honestly, I think this could be a very beautiful finish. If I actually put some good stitching in it, it could be finished this month. But I just love this fabric. This fabric is so stunning. I probably had it in my stash and was like, oh no, I'm going to do. I went through a big time last November and started all things. Everything. Because I was like, it's my birthday month, I can do that. So last year, that's what I did. I also started, oh my goodness, where did I put it? It's right here. I forgot what it was. I also started the Firefly Fairies. I love these guys, but I'm also a big Sleeping Beauty fan. I'm a big Disney fan, and these remind me of the ladies. So Firefly Fairies. This is, sorry, I can't show you everything else because it's not okay. This is done by Lavender and Lace. I did not get very far, I'm sure, on this one, but this is also done on Fiberlicious fabric. It's a 32 count linen, and it's called Pressed Petals. And I love this fabric too. Again, this was probably that's very, 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 very minimal work here. I don't even know if it's up or down or sideways or what. Look at that. I mean, it's work, don't get me wrong. I just think that I really found a great flow this year for myself, and on how to really work some of these, and I think that's what I'm going to really concentrate on. This one is the one I told you guys that I really want to possibly use one of those fabrics that I got from Fiberlicious for Moonshonk. Is that what it is? Monk's Hood. Where the hell did I get that? Monk's Hood. I think she's stunning. She's beautiful. She's Nora Corbett. I love her. I have her being stitched on. I don't even know what this is. It looks like a fabric that I got from probably my local needle craft. I don't know, but I didn't get a lot done, so do not be surprised if it does not stay on this fabric. This is it's 32 count. And it's a linen. It's a very see-through. You can see my arm. But that's where I got with it. I still think it shows up really well. I still think it's very beautiful. But if I can get probably one of those other fabrics to look really good, she might be going on another one. We'll see. But I absolutely love her. She's beautiful. Another one I did, which should have probably came out last month. But you know me, how to stitch all things. Praiseworthy Stitches. It's Mummy's Moonlight Cafe. I actually stitched this on Under the Sea Fabrics. This is called River Sticks. It's a 28 count Lugana. I don't even know really how far I got. Well, I didn't get very far. But I got a door. Almost. Is that a door? Yep. Top of it. Had to look at the pattern really fast. So there's the top of a door in the house. At least it's more stitches than what I've gotten before. It's a big pattern. So it'll be interesting to see how far I can get on this. And my husband went to Michigan. He was in the Coast Guard, and he was stationed on the Coast Guard Critter Mackinac, and he went for one of their get-togethers. They have one every year. And he, on the Mackinac, when they were touring, found a cross stitch. And he bought it and brought it home to me. So, the company was, and I'm going to butcher this, and I do it every time too. Is it Prisk? Prescal? There, I think I might have gotten it. So it's Prescal Needleworks. It's in Michigan, I do believe. And he bought it for me so that I could come home and stitch it for him. And I did start it. The lowest of starts, but I did. And there it is. Do you believe this is on 14 count Ada? Maybe it's 18 count. So we'll see if I can get some progress on this piece. It's a smaller piece, but the threads, as you guys already know, it did come with threads. I can't show you here. It did come with threads, but as you can tell, the threads are not. I'm picky when it comes to my threads. I like that to know where they're at and yeah. And some kits like my mill haul do not do that, and it's kind of irritating, but I do take the time to sort them and know what they gotta be, but yeah. Alright, so one of the last ones that I have is To All a Good Night. And this is Sue Hill Designs. And I love this piece. It's kind of fitting for the time. This is done on 28 count white Zweigarts and even weave. And I actually didn't do bad. I actually got kind of a lot done on this last time. Oops, sorry, my computer was doing something weird. So I actually got most of his jacket done. So stinking cute. I actually feel like I really want to stitch on this tonight. So I might take this out tonight and stitch on it. This might be the project for the first day of the month. I just think it's so much fun. But this is, besides his pants, this is the biggest part of the project. So I think everything else actually might go fairly easy. And are you ready for this one? You guys will laugh at me. It has the keys on his pants right there. See? Yeah, I stitch them on there. I think that that's cool. Alrighty. So, there's projects that got forgotten this year that I found. This, it's purple something. Purple. I can't remember the name of the place that was doing it, but I gave up on a few things and used dinky dyes for this, but I've never done black work. I'm sure that's what it is. So I really wanted to do some black work and really get it started. However, I've not done anything with it. I may take this with me. I'll tell you about my future about it here, but it's stitched on November Rain, which I love this fabric. It's a 32 count linen. And the black work started, I don't know, not this year, it was last year, and you guys are going to laugh because this is the smallest little start ever. And I did this in variegated threads. It is super cute. And I actually really think that I actually like it. Look at the variegation. Against this purple, this is stunning. So what I'm doing is all of the, I do not know where, I might have dropped the yellow one. I'm doing them in dinky dyes. And this is the yellow I'm doing it in. I do not have the piece of paper because, oh wait, it's right there. And the Fiberlicious bag that it came in. So I'm doing this in a, oh no, this is a Weeks Dye Works. I actually got this in Kodiak when I was there. I'm probably going to have to find some more. It's in Squash. I love this color so much. And this, I'm doing the blue in this dinky dyed hand silks, and it's in Aquamarine. That's this one. And it looks really wonderful. It's really good. So I have plenty of the Aquamarine. I am going to have to see if I can get some more of this Squash. I probably can't because, you know me, I'm a day late and dollar short. But I really do like this, and I plan on downloading the rest of it because it was free and I can stitch that. So this did not, I probably started it 2021 and never kept up with it. I actually didn't stitch a lot in 2021. I tried to, but I didn't. Another one that got forgotten, I don't know why or how, is my Mary Poppins Practically Perfect in Every Way. It is so stinking cute. I'm sure you already know, I'm a huge Disney fanatic, so. And this was stitched on Calypso, and this is from Picture This Plus. And literally, that's where I'm at. It's not a lot, but it's a really beautiful color. It's on 28 count Lugana. So most of it's black, so I may try to get some of this done too. I think it's really cute. And there's one more that will probably come up. Yep, just one more. And like, oh, hold on. I hate it when that does that, but this is from the Cricket collection, and it's autumn. Again, I don't know when sorry about that. I don't know when I started it, but I did, and I love these. These are my favorite things to do. Cricket collection is literally my favorite thing to do. And this is stitched on Colonial Parchment from Fabrics by Stephanie. This is 28 count Lugana. I didn't get a lot done, but I got some done. I got the U done. It looks good. I really like this. I like this parchment color. Now, if I was smart enough, I probably could have gotten 2 of them on here because it's a big enough piece of fabric. But, oh well. So that is it for my plans to coming up in here. And I literally am going to try to get 25 or 5,000 stitches in my Trick or Treat Haid. 500 stitches in each one of my whips that I just showed you. I don't know how many new starts. I am not going to hold back. I literally have a pile right over there that keeps staring at me, and I picked them out the last couple of days. Lots of dimensions. Actually, there is one that I have been wanting to start. It is the tree. I want to start it. I have been wanting to start it. It's literally been kitted for about 1.5 years, 2 years now. It's a very large project, but I've been wanting to start it for the longest time. So that's gonna happen. That one definitely will happen this month. So I guess we're at life updates. I don't have any more. So if this is where you have gotten to and you don't want to stick around, that is fine. That is really okay. Thank you for being with me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. For life updates, as I've told you guys before, my husband and I are looking for a house. We did put an offer in on one a week ago, and we kind of got hosed a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, it's very bitter for my husband because he had a shop, and that's exactly what he needs. But we're not going to get down about it. We're going to just continue to search, and I do not want to jump on something that I am not going to want to live in for a very long time. I'm going to jump on something that I'm going to absolutely love, and hopefully put my own little spin on things, and hopefully have enough space for myself and for me to have a couple chickens in a garden. I'd be really happy. I mean, because currently we live out of a small apartment and a storage unit, which is okay. Our daughters are doing well. Our oldest one, we found out we are having a little girl, and I say we, I call her my little baby Beanette. And I'm really super excited for them. They seem to be doing really, really well. We get to go see them at Christmas. So hence the reasons why I'm working on some of my December stuff, because I don't want to feel like I don't have enough time to work on things. So if December is just a free month for me to work on whatever when I can, because I will tell you, house hunting, I mean, sometimes I get out of work, and at least for a little bit, we won't talk very loud because my husband can hear all of that. He would have me looking at 3 houses at night after work, and I'm already exhausted. So for a couple of weeks, I really was just ragged with the fact that that's all I did all the time. And then I finally got to the point where I told my husband, I was like, why are we looking at these homes when they don't have a shop or even a garage that's big enough for him to want to go do things, or they're extremely pricey. If any of you live in Pennsylvania, you definitely know that this can be a very expensive state. I do not mind getting my hands dirty, and I do not mind finishing projects someone else was trying to start, because I might even have my own vision. But first and foremost, my husband needs a shop. So, or at least a 2-car garage that'll work for what he needs to have done. What else? I'm just trying to think. So my second oldest daughter thank you very much for reaching out to me though and listening to, and she's no longer in that relationship, but I'm hoping that she comes to the realization that the house she lives in is going to be very expensive to upkeep, and that we are here for her. If you've ever been in that kind of situation, it takes a different realization for you to hit the ground. Unfortunately, you usually have to hit bottom before you persistently or even wanting to ask for help. That's what's going to happen in this situation. So I'm just going to wait and see what happens. I text her every day. I text her all the time. I snap her all the time. Yeah. So my other daughter, Danielle, they just came back from a small vacation. She's doing well. I think she's at different crossroads in her life, and she seems to just be doing her own thing, but and she just turned 21. So Happy birthday, my baby girl. Well, not my baby girl. That one turns 8. That one turns 19 this month. But Emma and baby Avie. I will share some photos towards the end. If you would like to look at her and see her, I got to see them a couple different times, and I've thoroughly enjoyed going and visiting her. She's such a cutie patootie. She's so super smart in her own mind. It's pretty crazy. So one of the reasons why I have not been able to stitch is my husband and I have been married 16 years, and we've never been without children. Ever. We planned a trip to Canada, and we thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. We went to Niagara Falls, and we literally just enjoyed ourselves. It was during the fall season, so we went up there and just did things that we were going to do. I can show you some photos at the end if you'd like to see some of them. It was just a really nice, we did whatever we wanted. We zip-lined. We did the I can't remember it now, but it was the boat that you get on and you go and actually tour the fall. It was pretty cool. It was really cool. We went to a butterfly observatory, which was unbelievable. That was really amazing. Also, we also went to another place that had reptiles and a few other things. My husband loves it. And if you don't know, we have an alligator. It's pretty crazy. And then we came back. We've honestly just been running. We've looked, like I said, house hunting. We went and visited our granddaughter and spent the day down there. And we went to a reptile show, or whatever show it was. It had like frogs and lizards and snakes. And I really don't think there hasn't been a weekend that we haven't been. This past weekend, my husband and I went to Centralia, Pennsylvania. It is a town that has been burning for over 70 years. And even though I didn't see the steam that I wanted to see, but because it's kind of cool, they do have a church that has been in stone, that's literally inlaid in stone, that is unbelievable. It's beautiful. I really wanted to get a photo of it. I'll show you at the end. And I did get a photo of it. But it was really kind of sad at the same time. There are literally only about 5 homes that are still occupied. There are only 6 people in this town. When those 6 people pass away, they are not allowed to give their homes to the next person. They are not allowed to do anything with it. The state of Pennsylvania or the government will actually tear the homes down. There are no other homes where they used to be, just roads. We walked some of those roads. As I'm saying, it's kind of an eerie thing. It's like a desolate ghost town. And it's not because people live there, but because they were trying to make a dump. They took a hole. They dug a hole, and they put the trash in it and set the trash on fire. What they didn't realize was there was a coal underneath their town, and it's literally been on fire and is still continuing to burn. And they continue to say that it will take up to 300 years before it stops. There's just veins of coal, and it's fairly interesting. If you want to know more, by all means, it's Centralia, Pennsylvania. It's an interesting story. It's a wonderful, a couple YouTube people have really documented it well. I didn't get to find the vents or anything else like that. I might go back out. I may go back out when it's really, really cold. Because you supposedly can see steam, where the roads are. And it's just interesting. It's just an interesting piece of history. So we went and did that. And we had a great time. So my husband and I are out exploring. We're out doing things. Haven't done anything Bigfoot recently, but I love going out in the fall and in the spring more than I do the summer. So I do like to go out when the leaves are off the trees, so I can see things, and so I can go in and hike and check things out. So be prepared. You'll probably hear more about that. The only thing we're going to do is continue house hunting, and hopefully we find the one piece that, the one piece of property that just matches us. So I guess I did read a book. It's called All the Perfects by Colleen Hoover. I read a couple of her other books. I don't do well with dialoguing books. But I read this one in a day, and I will read it again. It was very cool, and for some reason I'm really captivated by Colleen Hoover's writing. So I will definitely read it again. If you like, it's not, I don't want to say it's spice. I will. So the person in the book, the female in the book, and then there's obviously a man in the book. I don't want to give all the details, because if I give all the details, it's really bad. But they meet in a very peculiar circumstance, as a matter of fact. And the book really kind of hit me hard, because I've never personally ever really dealt with infertility. I've been the opposite way, and I've always felt really guilty for that fact, because I find that either people can have children or they can't, and that infertility battle is very difficult for people who really want to have children. This book is the circumstances of trying to have a child, and how it can rapidly affect a marriage and a person, and how they work with it, and how they can overcome it or they don't overcome it. It is I cried. I laughed a lot. There's some spicy in there. There's a little spice in there, because I don't know if there's a Colleen Hoover book that doesn't have some chemical history in there. And let me tell you something, it's all chemical. It's hot. Anyway, okay. I have a couple more books on my shelf to read this month from her. I usually borrow them from the library, because I don't want to buy books, because I want to keep them. And books are heavy, and until I have a forever home, I'm not going to do that. So I'll just borrow them from the library when they tell me they're available. But I think that is it for this month. I will try to come back in a couple weeks. That's why I didn't come back yet. I didn't feel like I had enough stitching to show everybody. But if my needles are on fire, then you're going to see me sooner than later. So until then, thank you so much for stopping by and staying with me. And if you see me on the 30th, that's when you can celebrate with me. Maybe I'll have a birthday hat on. You never know. Have a great day. Love you guys. Bye. Happy stitching.